Okay, so today we are going to be talking about how to add color and value to your final. So some of the things that you're going to want to grab, you're going to want to grab your draft sketch that you did, okay? You're going to want to look at your shading techniques paper that we did. You'll want a piece of scratch paper. Of course, you'll want your final. You'll want an eraser, and you'll want your colored pencils, and even you might want your pencil sharpener and like a little bag to put the shavings in, okay? So the first step that you want to do before you start adding color, I would recommend taking your eraser and just going over your pencil lines so they're nice and light, okay? So you can see here, I'm just taking some time. I want to be able to still see them, but I want to have it nice and light. I don't like it when my values have outlines around them. I would rather like the edges, or I prefer the edges to show where my values change versus an outline. I feel like sometimes outlines can flatten my drawings. Now, if you drew very lightly, you might be able to skip this step. So I would just take a look at your drawing and see, is your pencil line dark, or did you draw light enough that it won't show through your lightest colors like yellow? So now that I have it erased so it's nice and light, I need to start thinking about what colors I want to use. So that's where our draft comes in handy. So we can test out our colors here on our draft. Now, one of the things, if you're not quite sure what you want to color things, again, you could do like a Google search and look up some examples. So for example, I was trying to remember what color the swoosh was for the Amazon box, or what other colors I might want to bring into this box here, or I might need to look up the Zoom logo or the Purell logo and see that I get the colors correct, so that way I'm showing what I want it to be. So as I'm trying to think through my colors, this is a chance for me to also test out my colors either on my scrap paper or my draft, or my piece of scrap paper. So I was thinking here, I want to do the boxes. So I don't know which combination of orange, yellow, and brown I'm going to need for this. So I'm going to start with brown. I think that's probably a pretty good guess. And so again, this is on my sketch. So I'm testing this out, seeing what it looks like. Okay, and then I can think about, now it's more of a tan color, so do I want to layer my yellow with it? Do I want to layer more of my orange? Or I can test what it looks like when I layer orange over the top of it. Once I'm done, I can go back over it with my brown. So looking at these, I can kind of see which one do I like better. And actually, I like the orange and the brown better than the yellow. I think the yellow is too bright. So this is a chance for me to kind of test it out. The next thing you have to figure out when you start to color is also, where is your light source, right? So you need to have an idea of what direction the light is coming from. And so my thought is, I'm going to go ahead and just use my vanishing point also as my light source. Okay, so I'm drawing just a light little sun here to remind myself my sun's right here, and it's going to be kind of shining out this direction, which can help me see, okay, so when I go to color in this box, I know that this top here is going to be my lightest value, and this back side will be my darkest value. So that can help me kind of plan for how I want to color it. Now that I've tested out my colors, I'm ready to start coloring. Remember, we can use the side of our pencil so we don't show lines in our coloring. Also, start with your lightest values and use a light pressure. Color in the same direction to avoid the coloring from looking like scribbles or seeing lines in it. Take your time, try to stay in the line. Sometimes I use the point of the pencil and switch my grip to help clean up my edges and make sure my edges are nice and even. Once I have my nice light base color, then I can go over the top of it with my second color. In this case, it's my orange. When you go over your main color with the second color, remember to keep it light so it doesn't overpower or take over your color. Don't forget to go back over your second color with your original color to help blend it. As I was testing this out, I decided to try even adding a third color. So I decided to go back over it with yellow, and then I went back over again with a brown to keep my color a little bit closer to the tan that I was going for. If you have your own colored pencils and a color in that set would help match better, feel free to use it. You don't have to stick with the colored pencils in your kit, but please use only colored pencils, no markers or crayons if we can help it. Remember, light layers of colors can help hide lines and help build up your medium values too. When I move on to the next side of my box, I look back at my light source and see that this part is the furthest away and in the most shadow, so I need my darkest value. For this area, I'm going to press harder as I color this side. So make sure as you move to different areas of your object that you keep looking back to where your light source is. Start with the part of your drawing that you feel most comfortable with. Whether it's your boxes or your winding object in details, it's up to you. Sometimes it is helpful to start with lighter color areas first, because if you make a mistake, you can go back over it with a darker color, or your eraser can even lighten it to the point where you don't see it.